Matt Milano is off to a pretty incredible start for the Buffalo Bills in 2022. I'm going to show you a series of about 10 or 12 plays. First set is going to be Matt Milano against the pass. Second set will be some run fits, some run read reactions with some two incredible tackles. And then the final two plays will hopefully illustrate for you how decisive Matt Milano is when he makes a read, his tackling ability, because there's going to be two screens where he's going to take such abrupt, distinct angles. Commitment to his angle is something that some of you will understand who have played inside linebacker or coaches there, and some of you will not. Commitment to your angle means I'm running on my angle. I trust what my coaches have taught me in terms of this play concept and where I need to fit, and this is where I'm going to go. And I trust that the ball's going to arrive there if the force player or the safety or whoever's on the outside does their job. And Matt Milano seems to be someone that doesn't overrun plays. And if you played inside linebacker or you coached it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. He generally fits on the correct leverage side. Explosive tackler, if you ask me. Really good in pass coverage. Heavy eyes on the quarterback at times, but seems to have awareness of the routes too. So very interesting player to watch. Edmonds is a fantastic inside linebacker for the Bills too. Those two, if you ask me, really do a great job in the Bills' nickel defense of playing second-level pass coverage, moving up to the line of scrimmage when they need to. If you're a Bills fan and you're watching this video, you're very blessed, with the defensive talent that you have there. And Matt Milano and Edmonds are a big part of that. Sometime soon I'll follow up with another film study of Edmonds. But Matt Milano, after the pick six against Ryan Tannehill and the Titans to kind of cap that blowout win, I thought was worth a look. So here we go. All right, the pick six is an empty formation, and Matt Milano is down at the bottom side of the screen. You can see the leverage that Edmonds and he are going to fit with. I think Tannehill believes that the number 3 receiver is going to be able to sit down here in this pseudo zone that the Bills play, or quarters team, split field coverages, whatever you want to call it. But it's definitely a zone overall because everybody's got their eyes on the quarterback, except Edmonds. Edmonds is reading the number 3 receiver. Nothing wrong with that. And number 3 receiver is going to make an outcut. I believe that Tannehill is throwing this football. He thinks that based on the coverage and the situation, Milano is going to be involved with this number 2 receiver, either jamming the number 2 receiver inside or moving out to the flats. But you can see what the Bills are doing. The Bills have got the corners in the flats here and then here, even though their depth is different from one side of the field to the other. Milano jumps it to the number 3 receiver, catches it, kind of catches it with his chin, and then takes off. Pick six, 41-7 win over the Titans. Kind of unbelievable, the margin of victory that you had there. By that point, it was already decided. Milano and those guys were still on the field. Great play. Inside linebackers are, if you ask me, asked to play too many different coverages at times. The Bills' inside linebackers seem to be comfortable with whatever they're asked to read, react to, and then cover against the pass. All right, I think you got a third down here. Milano is going to be dealing with Cooper Kupp from the other side of the formation, and you can see he's communicating something right now. He's pointing in this direction. Edmonds is also pointing with his left hand. Looks at a slightly different angle, but they are definitely communicating something to each other. I think Milano cross keys Kupp. It's not a third down, my apologies. And is able to hold him to a 7 or 8 yard gain. No one outside there to help Milano with this concept, just by the way. There's no other DB to help him because that DB kind of got sucked in. I'm talking about this guy right here. All right, so it's not like Matt Milano is responsible for the area outside the bottom of the numbers down here. That's not the area he's responsible for in this coverage. We'll pull this back so you get a better sense of it. So we're talking about this corner right here. His feet are, inside the top of the numbers. He's just going to get kind of sucked in a little bit, and that opens up that space for Cooper Kupp to get outside of him. You can see this guy knows he's wrong because he turns his back. So Matt Milano is trying to cover up for this mistake. That's one of the problems with PFF and some of the other rating systems when they score people. Who would they say this is completed against? Is this against Matt Milano just because he's smart enough to overlap that guy and make the tackle? He's athletic enough to get out there and hold Cooper Kupp to a 7 yard gain in a coverage area that wasn't his in the first place. All right, you got a sack. Their dominant week 1 win against the Rams, And Matt Milano is just going to run underneath of this number 2 receiver. He's very versatile. Zone coverage, looking at the quarterback, underneath man coverage, read coverage away from the nickel defender side. What I mean by away from the nickel defender is you appear to have the nickel defender down here for the Bills because there's 3 receivers for the Rams. To the top side, there is no nickel defender. Milano has a little bit more coverage responsibility than the inside linebacker to the field because he had inside linebacker to the field. Edmonds has the nickel defender to rely on to account for some of that space. Hopefully that makes sense. Near interception against the Titans. I think the very next possession. I could be wrong. Not saying he's going to take that one to the house, but damn if it doesn't look like he'd have an opportunity to. Him and Edmonds are communicating right up until the time the ball is snapped. He does this really interesting thing here. He jumps to the outside, almost like he's inviting Malik Willis to throw it to one side, and then jumps back in here. Now the ball is thrown behind the receiver because Malik Willis sees that Milano is on this side. Malik Willis is left. Matt Milano's right. So he understands where he's going to throw the football. The receiver isn't aware of that. So he actually moves back toward Milano, who jumps inside, almost gets a pick. Really weird. Doesn't look too clean catching the football. That would be the only thing that I would say as a critique. But, man, really well-rounded inside linebacker. Fun to watch. Athletic. Stays square. Bouncy. Just got to work on catching the ball, maybe. That's a tongue-in-cheek assessment, obviously. Milano down here. Boundary side, again, doesn't have the nickel defender to help him out. A great angle. And he finishes tackles. He doesn't just get there and wrap you up. He finishes the tackle. Breaks on the short pass to the boundary. Physical tackler. That's the way football is supposed to be played. All right. Bunch set up here. I believe he's in man against the inside tight end. Difficult cover. Essentially being screened off by the releases. You can see a couple of things happen. You've got an inside linebacker taking over, I think, Cooper Kupp. And then up here, Milano is in trail on this 3rd and 4. It doesn't surprise me because of what the Rams do with the bunch receivers. I'll pause it a couple of times so you can see. They basically shield him off with the point man releasing to the outside. He's picking Cooper Kupp's guy. Simultaneous to that, he's also forcing Milano to either go over the top of this pick, this screen, this wall, whatever you want to call it, or go underneath of like he does. If he goes underneath, just a slight little hesitation there or lack of burst, but he's trying to recover from behind. All right, a real welcome to the NFL moment for Malik Willis, who I'm a big fan of. That is a very physical tackle, a great read. Milano has the running back and the tight end to his side. There's going to be a mesh between Willis and the running back. Simultaneously, the tight end's going to release outside. Remember I said Milano is away from the nickel defender. So his read is different for Edmonds on this mesh. Edmonds can go ahead and go after the running back, and you can see he does here. Milano has to be a part of the possibility of the quarterback keeping it or the quarterback throwing it out here to the tight end who's taking what I would call a veer release. So you can see Milano has hedged outside with the tight end. The D end to his side, who was unblocked, stepped down. Willis keeps it. And then Milano is so athletic to be able to put his foot in the ground and then take his right shoulder and put it right on Malik Willis's hip, stop him cold in his tracks on a 3rd and 1 for a loss. Beautiful play. You don't really see the tackle in this end zone angle, but what you do see is Milano go with the tight end to the outside. When the back crosses Malik Willis's face, he's got great vision. He has to be able to see a lot of things. He's looking at Malik Willis, and he reacts to the tight end. Watch it again. His helmet is clearly looking at the mesh point. Hopefully you can see it here. I don't think the frame is cutting that off. He's looking here, but he's reacting to the tight end who doesn't block him. And then again, you don't get a real, idea of how physical that tackle was other than the fact Milano steps over him. Some run plays now here, and then 2 screens to finish off. Really fun watching video of him. As a Ravens fan, it won't be fun playing playing against them in week 4. Him or Edmonds or that whole Bills defense. Complete unit, physical guys. They bring a lot of pressure. They play great coverage. They're a handful, real handful. People aren't wrong talking about the Bills being a Super Bowl favorite. They're fully capable of winning every game they play this year. Milano inside here. Now they got a tough handle this week against the Dolphins, though, no doubt. Milano's physical at the point of attack and can cover well against the pass. Great tackler. He's the full package at inside linebacker, if you ask me. Really spectacular recognition here. There must be something down in distance and formation or personnel-wise that Milano sees. He's going to step down here and then blitz in between the tight end and this hybrid tight end receiver that the Rams have. I forget his name, but he doesn't touch Milano, who gets a tackle for loss, or a solo tackle at least. Fantastic form. You'll get the end zone angle too. Bills are making sure they got the 3 technique to the tight end side. And then they're going to slam everybody down. Milano's going to stem inside of this 18. I don't know. I call him a hybrid tight end and receiver. But he doesn't touch Milano, who makes a great tackle. Overwhelming force sometimes when he makes a tackle. 2 beautiful plays against screens coming up. And the interesting thing is, well, this is Cooper Kupp, first of all, and he does get the first down, but that's a physical tackle. If I'm a Rams coach or a friend of Cooper Kupp or a family member, I don't want him taking these shots like this. You got 3 receivers down here. Milano is the inside linebacker to the other side. Not saying that he's doing Edmonds' job and Edmonds is deficient on this play. I'm just saying it's great pursuit, great commitment to the angle. He's looking right at the quarterback. Sees the quarterback, pulls the pin on the grenade, throws it out there. So you can see he's already started to plant, point, and burst off of his right foot. Going to pause it a couple of times so you see the angle as it develops. And he ends up right on that landmark. Landmark is 29-yard line. About 4 yards inside the top of the numbers. Let's pull this back a little bit. It was a 4th down. Watch the angle he takes. The landmark, I think, for the tackle is right around in this area. Perfect angle. Perfect commitment to it. Unblocked, obviously, but he's away from the screen. And a great tackle. I mean, I don't know if he's interested, but he looks like someone who would be a great coach. All right. Empty again. They go to quads, they being the Titans offense. So down here to the bottom side, you've got bunch. And then they've motioned right to left to get a 4th guy down here. What are they running? Running a screen. Milano, same thing. Just a jarring tackle. Here he is. He's identified it. Straight, direct angle, aiming for the inside hip of the running back, which is what he gets. Right shoulder on the right side of the hip, which was the inside portion. Great player. Underrated, if you ask me, across the NFL. I would take this guy on my team in a heartbeat. You would too. Bills are legit defensively. Matt Milano's a big part of it. Sean McDermott, Leslie Frazier, all those guys been around the game, been around some great schemes, great coaches. Matt Milano, to me, looks like a guy who plays the game at a high level, understands the game at a high level. Him and Edmonds seem to communicate back and forth before almost every snap. They seem to do a great job of making sure that each other are prepared for whatever's coming and understand the tendencies based upon personnel, formation, down and distance. And they do a great job of communicating to the nickel defender and the 3rd level of the Bills defense. Let me know what you think of my breakdown here of Matt Milano. Watched probably 35, 40 plays of his from week 1 and 2, whittled it down to this segment, or this selection of plays, I should say, for you to check out. Let me know if you agree with me, that you think he's playing at an incredibly high level. Not just a high level, an incredibly high level. When you combine all of the skills he's putting on display, tackling, let's start at the end of each play, tackling. Then let's go in reverse. Pursuit angle. Before that, recognition. Before recognition, stance, pre-snap awareness, communication. He has all those things, all of them. Let's do this in forward from the beginning of a play or before a play to the end of a pass play. Stance communication, got it. Recognition of the pass play, got it. Awesome stuff. Then playing on the correct leverage side, reading the quarterback when he pulls the pin on the grenade, breaking on the ball. He's showing every facet of the game for an inside linebacker, if you ask me. Looks like an old school guy against inside run teams, power teams. Looks like a spread inside linebacker, a nickel inside linebacker against spread teams. Very versatile. Incredibly impressed with Matt Milano. Let me know if you are. If this is the first video you watched on my channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you think other Bills fans, other NFL fans would enjoy this video, please consider sharing this one on social media to help this video get more exposure and reach.